old Sunday here in sunny North Wales with temperatures of nearer -2. Now I'm not sure when this video is going to come out, and the reasoning being, guys, is if this comes out close to Christmas or it comes out sometime either the 5th or 6th of December, then it's because my computer is going in for repair and a little bit of a update modification should there be from when I'm recording this video tomorrow. Today is the 3rd of December, so tomorrow my computer's going in for repair, and I thought I'd make this video now and try and see if I can get it out. If not, I do apologise, and if this is after Christmas, then Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, etc, etc. Anyways, guys, this is a video regarding my 2018 1.6 diesel Insignia Grandsport. Some of you guys have been asking, how has this car been doing since I had the chain and the tensioners sorted and miscellaneous other bits done to it also. I aim to service this car, guys, every half a year, but because of the financial crisis at the minute, I'm trying to stretch it out to maybe a year. The problem is, I last got this car serviced at 78,000 miles, and on the schedule it says I should service it at 88,000. Guys, I'm not even 6 months through since the service, and we're on 85,000 miles. So I'm not sure, I'm really not sure whether I'm going to be able to service this at 88,000 miles. I'm looking at probably 90 something odd thousand. I've had this car for not as long as I thought. I thought I've had this for just over 3 years. It turns out I've only had it just 3 years. And it was on 36,000 when I got it, and it's now on 85,000. So I've done a fair bit of mileage. When the chain went, guys, it was on just over 50,000 miles. We came back from Silverstone in December 21, which was supposed to be a birthday present for me. We went to go and do the lap of lights and see the Silverstone Museum, and that's when I made the lap of lights video. Now after then, that's when the tensioner and the guides collapsed basically, and this car had to go in for 8 weeks to get its engine repaired. When I got it back, I'm sure it was on something stupid at 55,000 miles. So it's now done 85,000 with no issues. I've had to have the clutch changed last October, not the October just gone, but the October before that, so October 2022. I had the clutch changed on this because I got stuck on a field in Mark Wheel, if anybody knows where that is, with a fireworks show, and I completely knackered my clutch. So I had that changed, and like I say, no issues from then forward. But how is it? Do I recommend getting one? Do I plan on getting anything else? Well, the thought has crossed my mind whether to upgrade my car for something else. The problem is, though, is everything these days is SUV or MPVs or small, big family cars like the DS4. And obviously we decided to change the Astra J in red for the DS4 because it's a better family car for starts, but secondly because of the damage that was done to the Mark 6 Astra. So we've decided to keep the Insignia because, well, there's nothing really else that ticks the boxes for me. I like this car. Well, I say I like this car. I love this car, which was one thing I couldn't say for my Astra J, my 2014 Astra J, there's one thing I couldn't say. I didn't love it. It was a good car and it never gave me any issues. It never had an advisory, and to this day, it's sort of checked. To this day, it still has never had an advisory. And that's because that car was a good car. This, however, has had an advisory for tyres last year, which I have since replaced for some brand new Davantes. In relation to how has it been since everything's been going on, again, never had an issue with the car. I had to have the windscreen replaced at one point, not only because I had a pigeon fly into it, but also I was following an Asda van once and a stone flicked up into the windscreen and completely cracked the driver's side of the screen. Now, had I have not had insurance for windscreen cover, the windscreen would have cost me, are you waiting for this, £1,019 to replace, only because of this sensor and the camera that detects the signage. It had to be recalibrated, but luckily I had the insurance for that, and the insurance has gone up astronomically this year, and it isn't down to the windscreen, it's down to either other people's incompetence or the lack of parts situation and the amount of cars that insurances have had to write off due to the parts availability issues, which makes sense, and I'm not complaining. I can still run the car perfectly fine. And of course the Vectra is off the road at the minute for quite a bit because it needs quite a bit of work doing to it, which will only happen in time. As you guys know, I'm a father of at this point a 10-month-old, and it is difficult to arrange to make videos, and this video is not only took a while to make. I appreciate it doesn't look like a lot of effort's gone into it because the car is filthy, but as you can tell maybe from the window, there's ice and snow about, so there's plenty of grit about too, which means the car is hanging. And not only that, daylight is very limited these days, so I have to record at certain times, otherwise I have no daylight to record in, which is obviously quite difficult because I have a day job as well, working 5 days a week, Tuesday to Saturdays. So recording videos can be quite difficult. So whilst my computer is in for repairs, guys, I'm going to forward make videos. I'm going to make videos whilst my computer is away, so that when it comes back I can get straight into the editing part of it rather than faffing around trying to find times to record once I've got it back. Now, I'm not going to run you through the technological part of what the computer's going in for. There's nothing really wrong with my computer other than some audio issues, which is all age related wiring wise. But then I've also got the Rode Wireless Go that's getting something for it as well, because since I changed my phone, I've explained this again, because I have no headphone jack in this particular phone that I record my videos on, I can't use the Wireless Go correctly. It sounds very tinny, as you guys have noticed in some of my previous videos where I've attempted to make it work. Therefore, I'm just using the microphone that's built into the phone at this point until I get that issue resolved, which will happen soon. How am I finding the Insignia with especially the petrol issue, or the petrol price issue? Well guys, I roughly do, considering I drive a bit, about 16, 17, sometimes 1800 miles a month. That's about pothole. Which basically means then that I'll consume a lot of fuel. So how does that equate financially? Well, working it out, the diesel cost at the minute in the likes of Wrexham or anywhere else locally is either £1.49 a litre or £1.52 a litre. And I spend just over 250 quid a month running the car. I must explain as well, guys, a lot of people have asked me, how much did this car cost when I got it, and is it financed, is a question I keep getting asked, or I get a couple of people punning me for. Yes is the answer. This car was financed on a 5-year term, and we're 3 years in and I've still got the car, so you know, that's a good point. My payments are always made when they need to be made. How much do I pay for the car? Well, the car, when I got it, was advertised at $11,995, which back then was a reasonable price. But the year after, when COVID started to become a bit more difficult with the production of cars, this car immediately went up to 16 grand, and I could have sold it for that. I could have even given it back for that. The problem was at the time is, yeah, it was okay me getting an extra couple of quid out of it, but the second-hand car market just went through the roof. For example, my Vectra C, when I had that, I got rid of the car for 500 quid, and I was lucky to get 500 quid for that car at the time because it had lack of service history. But now though, for a car like that, if that car was up for sale today, even today, with a valid 12-month MOT, you're still talking 1,500 quid a couple of years later. And that's not because they're desirable or popular. They're good cars and you can get parts for them quite easily, but prices soared for cars, and this was no exception. This was the same. Have I noticed any differences with the car since the mileage has gone up? Well, I can tell there's wear and tear bits that will soon arise for MOTs, and there's numerous other cosmetic differences, like for example, my mirror has delaminated from previous repair when I got the car. There was a repair done to the alloy wheel, which now looks a bit of a bugger, and the steering wheel, from using hand sanitizers to, well, it's starting to peel. I also went through a bit of a smoking sort of habit, shall we add. I still use my vapors, and I use my vapors quite frequently now, but I did go through a few times where times were tough, things were stressing me out, and I started smoking. So the rubber seal here on the outside of the car has developed what looks to be burning dots, which I can only assume is from the ash that comes from a cigarette has burnt the top layer of the rubber. Yeah, you can slate me in the comments for it, but times are tough, guys, and well, I had to keep a strong head on my shoulders. So that was my sort of comfort at the time. I don't smoke now, only the vapors, which causes another issue, is my windscreen ends up being covered of oil. Looks like I'm going to need new wipers soon. How comfortable is a Grandsport? Well, I can tell you from experience, if you've pulled your back, it's not very comfortable. These seats are quite... They are good for your back, for your posture and what have you, but you sit quite low down, so trying to get in and out of the car when you've pulled your back is quite difficult. And changing gear is very laborious when it comes to that sort of thing. It does have a little sort of back pressure thing that I have on the side of the seat, which helps. But if I can compare it to the DS4 with its seats, having massaging seats, that car is much more comfortable for that. Which one do I prefer driving? Well, it's evident, my own car. I mean, I'm insured on her car, but this is a nicer drive if you're going on longer journeys, in my personal opinion. Don't get me wrong, the DS4 was comfortable within its own right, but I do prefer this. And driving some other cars as well, even if it's just test driving them, I can't find anything to really tick the box for my needs when it comes to a car. So the Insignia is staying for a while longer yet, and at this rate I'll probably end up killing the thing. Yeah, with the mileage being 85,000 miles, you can only imagine in 2 years time what that mileage will account for. I envisage maybe 120, 130,000 before I pay off the car. By then it's probably going to need some engine bits then. That would probably be a good time to change it, even if it was for another Grandsport. The question is would I go for another 1.6 diesel again? Do you know what? Joking aside, I probably would. Only because I've done more mileage in this car than any other car that I've owned, and it's given me good return. It's given me the confidence. I'm confident it will get me to work. But it makes some noises from time to time, like injector noises and that sort of thing. And sometimes it doesn't give you that much confidence. You get the feeling that something's going to break. And there's some people that say, well, when you're in 6th gear doing 50 mile an hour, the car seems to splutter. Well, the reasoning for that is because of the DPF. When it runs, the car sort of hunts that way, so you just downshift a gear and floor it until it turns off. It's often an audible thing, the DPF. You can hear it working as you're driving. So to summarise then, would I get another Grandsport? Yeah, probably. Would I get another 1.6? Over a 2 litre? Yes, I would actually, because I have driven a 2 litre and it was a bag of shite, sorry, but it was. I'm fortunate with this car, it hasn't got any knock sensor issues or the AdBlue. So, with that respect, I probably would go for another 1.6 or a petrol variant, but so far, I prefer this. I might contemplate an automatic, but I hear they have issues too. That being said, this is an M32 upgraded gearbox, so whichever way you put it, it's luck of the draw with the cars. Anyways guys, I know this video is going to be short and sweet, but hopefully that answers most of your questions regarding the Insignia B. How is it? How have I found it? How much did I pay for it? What's it like? Would you get another? Am I satisfied with this car? Have I got, did I make a bad decision getting it? Do I regret buying it? Do I want to get rid of it? I don't regret buying it. I don't want to sell it. I love the car, and it has given me plenty of memories and good services since my ownership of it 3 years ago. So I'm not complaining. Are you? Anyways guys, leave a like and subscribe if you like this video, if you like the previous videos, and if you like what's coming up with the Vectra, because we've got some work to do with that. And leave a comment if you guys are interested or want some other videos being made on either the Grandsport or the Vectra, or if you have any other questions whether I should do a Q&A. Anyways guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and stay safe. Is it going to slip? Nope. That's handy, that just broke off. So this is what we need to tackle